So today we're delving into a privacy policy that lays out how a site handles both personal and non-personal information, right?
Yep, exactly. It describes how info like your name, email, and even things like your browser details are collected.
Right. So on one hand, you have personal information, stuff you share voluntarily, like signing up for newsletters or making a purchase. And then there's non-personal
Hmm.
information, which includes technical details like IP addresses and device types that get gathered automatically through cookies and tracking tech.
Yeah, it's interesting how it splits the two. I'm curious though, what do you think about the way they use this information?
It's like they use it to keep the website running smoothly, send out newsletters with your consent, and also to analyze usage so they can improve the overall user experience. It's
Right.
all geared towards making the experience more personal and functional.
So essentially, your browsing habits could help tailor your website experience, huh? But don't you think there's a risk when it comes to data security?
That's a good point. The policy does mention that they take reasonable precautions to secure the data, but they also admit that no website or internet transmission
Yeah,
can be 100% secure. It's a sort of balancing act.
interesting. And what about sharing data with third parties? How does that work?
Well, they say your data might be shared with trusted third-party service providers who help operate the site and deliver services, but only under strict confidentiality contracts. And importantly, they
Yep,
won't share your personal info for marketing without your explicit consent.
that definitely sounds more reassuring than a free for all. Though I've got to ask, isn't it a bit of a stretch to expect users to keep up with periodic policy changes?
True, it does put some onus on users. The policy recommends reviewing it regularly, since they might update it to stay compliant with new laws or to reflect their changing
Mm-hmm.
practices. It's kind of like keeping an eye on your bank statements. You need to be aware, even if it's a bit of a hassle.
Exactly. And while they advise consulting with legal professionals to ensure everything's on point, it puts the responsibility on both the provider and the user to stay informed.
Absolutely. And there's also a neat detail where they explain that personal data will be retained only as long as necessary, unless the law requires keeping it longer. It's a responsible approach to data retention.
Right. So after your transaction or sign up, your data isn't hoarded unnecessarily. That shows a respect for privacy.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, we'll use this information to make your experience better, but we aren't holding on to it forever without good reason.
Exactly.
It definitely builds trust if users know their data isn't misused.
Overall, it seems to be a balanced policy, transparent with adequate security measures, even if not foolproof.
Right, it's all about trust and clarity. The dynamic of collecting data for improvement while informing users about their rights and the retention period shows a modern approach to privacy. It's pretty insightful to
Yes,
see how these policies are structured to um, protect both the service and the user.
absolutely. A thorough and evolving approach to privacy. This conversation really highlights the importance of reading through these policies carefully.
Exactly. And it reminds us that while the tech advances, our rights and transparency and data use must keep up. Great discussion.
For sure, it's been an enlightening chat on the nuances of privacy in the digital age.